Welcome everyone today to today's webinar on abundance. So how are you doing with your abundance? What sort of lifestyle do you have? What's your relationship like with money? You'll know exactly what it's like or what relationship you have by looking at the position you're in now, getting an idea of where your life is, rating that. How does it feel? Does it feel abundant? Can you afford to buy the things that you desire? That will be a benchmark for how your life's going with abundance and what your relationship is like. For instance, I knew a girl and she was amazing, as in amazing at creating relationships with other people. And she would stand there and she would say, I love people. And she would have this buzz and she was like she couldn't wait to meet you when she did meet you. And so therefore she created amazing people in her life. She created amazing situations, opportunities with people, and she was quite young, so I would assume she's going to have the most incredible life ever, because her belief system is that people are great and are amazing. And she says, I love them. Imagine being around someone like that says, I just love people, and the energy is very enthusiastic. Well, you need to be like that with yourself, your self-worth, and that translates into your abundance, money. So just have a little think about where you're at right now. Have a rating of it. What is it? 10 is really fantastic with your abundance attraction, or a 0 is really bad. So you need to keep rating and monitoring and benchmarking where you're at, so you can look at your progress, and that will spur you on to keep going. It will motivate you. It's like weight loss. You'll monitor how much weight you've lost, and then that will spur you on and excite you. So you look at how much money you've got now, what you're attracting, what sort of environment you're in, and how you feel about money. So 10 would be if you feel really great, 0 is not. So keep that number and keep yourself a journal. So you might want to take notes throughout this webinar. There'll be some points I'll be going through, and they're things that you need to do when you finish listening to this webinar that will assist you on being the most abundant person you can. Now, I'm going to go in different places that you may not have heard about with this abundance webinar, because I'm an energy healer. I interpret energy, I feel energy. I'm a forensic healer, which means that I make sense of why something's not working. The same thing as why someone has pain. I can work out why they are poor or not attracting abundance. And I put all those bits together and then I give them the answer. So what I'm doing today is I'm giving you the most common answers, and I'm covering a huge array of topics. And so if you can perfect or you work on any area that I mentioned, you will improve. And you need to remember that energy is everything, and everything is energy. So what does that mean? That means that I'm energy. I feel a certain way. When you're around me, you'll feel a certain way, and I'll feel a certain way towards you. I might feel great. I might feel really happy being around you, really uplifted. House has energy. You can feel good in a house, or you can feel bad in a house. An object, a picture, food, everything starts with energy. It starts with a thought form, and that's how it's created. So when we understand that, we can use law of attraction to attract the good things, abundance, things that uplift us. And I love Abraham Hicks's quotes. I just think they're fantastic. They're the ones that have written all the books on the law of attraction. And one of the quotes say, you are the vibrational writers of the script of your life, and everyone else is the universe is playing the part that you have assigned to them. So if you're the vibrational writers of the script of your life, and everyone else in the universe is just playing the part that you have assigned to them, so you're writing your script. How amazing. So let's get writing a good script, huh? Let's get this improving. Now, the first and really powerful topic I'm covering is karma. You know what karma is? What goes around comes around. And I really, really wonder how many people really understand this law. Many people have said to me, oh, they're energy healers. Why are they doing that to you? Why are they acting that way? And I would assume that it's their feelings of either low self-worth or whatever they have is more powerful than wanting to work with universal laws. But today, karma will catch up with you. I've seen it so many times. It's really sped up. Once upon a time, you could probably have your karma come back years later or in other lifetimes. It seems to be coming back pretty much immediately today. So attract good karma, which means bless everybody, find the positive, and send out good feelings, because what you give out comes back to you. So what are you giving out? I suggest you could even write a letter to the universe and apologizing for things that you've done in your life, apologizing for things that you regret, and karmically do the right thing. Don't take from others you don't want them taking from you. Be honest with others. And this covers integrity. So being in your integrity, which means honoring you, and loving others, and in not a selfish manner or not a greedy manner. It's a bit like loving yourself. You can really love yourself in a very balanced and centered way. That's the same way you should feel about your self-worth and what you think your abundance is. You can feel that you're of divine worth and you're abundant, but you would see everyone else the same way. It's not seeing anyone any different, that everyone else has that same potential. So that is good karma. It's good karma for yourself, and it's good karma for others. There's the Ho'oponopono sayings. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Because if you've got a lot of negativity around you, and if your finances aren't going well, that's one of the reasons is the karma. So get that all sorted out. Now, self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? If I took a recording of what you were saying to yourself in your head, what would I hear? Interesting question. And then if I read the script for a week, what would the script look like? Really important subject. You'll know what you're talking about, what you're saying to yourself when you don't feel good. You're saying, gee, I wonder if I did anything wrong. I wonder if that's my fault. Should I do the right thing? Should I do this? Should I do that? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, why always me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? I'm always getting the short end of the stick. Are you saying any of that to yourself? Well, it's about time you changed. You need to throw that negativity in the bin. It needs to go. It needs to be thrown in the fire bin, and then you start saying, you know what I do want. And even your life will show you what you've been saying to yourself by what's around you. So start getting rid of that negative self-talk. It's got to go. It usually is most apparent with those people that have that pattern of judging themselves, feeling judged by others, and they've often been judged by a parent. So they're always still in their head. You know what? You just need to let it go and choose to love yourself. And that can be what you say. I just choose to love myself. Throw away that negativity and just say, I choose to love myself. Thank you for reminding me to love myself. Better affirmations. At least that will distract you, even if you may not think of it. So, and you know the old adage, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So start changing that. Really, really powerful and important step in creating the life you want. All these steps and these points that I'm making apply to everything in your life, can apply to relationships. The other thing I'd like to mention is it's a really interesting point. Do you know anybody that has a lot of money and doesn't like rich people? Because I've heard this many a time from poor people. Oh, rich people, they're greedy. Rich people are corrupt. And all of this. And they fight against them. Capitalism and so forth. And, you know, rich people are killing us. All those sort of beliefs. And you know, the people that say it are the poor people. So are you one of those? Do you oppose anyone making a lot of money? Someone that charges perhaps a large amount? Someone that lives in a filthy rich place that you just go, oh my goodness, so decadent. You know, that's what you need to say. Good on them, because if you oppose that, it will oppose that in yourself. And I knew a client, and she had no money, zero money, very poor. And she said that, I said, so what do you think about rich people? She goes, they're corrupt. And I said, well, I can see why you're where you're at now. If you're going to oppose that, how are you ever going to get riches? Don't you know that people that have money pay for things, they employ people, they buy things, they buy your services? If we had no one with money in this country, in this world, who would buy anything? We would all be poor. Change your belief about rich people and what you say. So watch what you say when you see someone with a lot of money. Applaud them. Say, good on you. Fantastic. And that comes back to you. Negative belief systems is the third topic, and negative life patterns. These will ruin your life if they're negative, or they'll uplift your life and create an amazing life if they're positive. And these beliefs usually come from childhood, such as money doesn't grow on trees, you know, all men are bastards, women are bitches, all that kind of negativity. Life's not a bowl of cherries. I don't deserve to be rich. Rich people aren't nice. All these things. And then you learn belief systems by what you see as a child and what you see as you grow up and what you choose to believe. So this is about shattering those belief systems, really shattering them, and start to look at what they are, where they've come from, because they really need to be really like dissolved and gone. I had a client, it was just the other day, and she said to me that she'd been on a dating site, a dating site where she put her name up and a picture and her profile. And she said, I went on, every guy was amazing. She said they were all treated me lovely, just amazing dates. None of them were the right ones at that time, but she said they were just amazing. And I looked at her, because most people I've heard say, oh, they're all losers, you know, the only losers will go after me on all those dating sites. And I looked at her and I thought, wow, she has always dated nice men. She's always said that she's dated nice men. She's always said that men treat her really well. And there she goes on a dating site, and again, she creates that very same situation. They were all amazing. Imagine saying that every guy was amazing after they'd gone. And I think she did about 10 dates. So what you need to do is find out what they are. You'll know what they are when you start looking at what you say to yourself. You start looking at all the patterns in your life. Negative relationships, or people keep taking more money from you and it's not equal. You might say, you know what, I'm always giving and I'm never getting back, or people are always taking from me, people are always taking advantage of me. You really need to have a look at what's happening, so you can say, you know what, that's a belief system I believe, because you say it, don't you, and it happens. So you'll tell that story about someone ripped you off, or whatever situation it was. So that belief has to change, and you start replacing it by saying, you know what, I need to say, oh, people are really honest and generous with their money, and I feel it very abundant. Things like life is abundant. Abundance just flows into my life like water. Just start writing out some new affirmations. Money is just, well, I owe it to the world to become rich. It's just your duty. It's your birthright. Life's easy. Life provides me very well. You know, when someone says, it always works out, I always get provided for, and they always do, and they keep saying it. So it's whatever you keep saying you will attract, so change that. Next one is your gratitude for all your blessings. Now let's have a think about this. People that are very grateful for you, for whatever you do for them, whatever you give to them, don't you want to give back more? The people that say, I'm just so thankful for what you do. I'm so appreciative. Don't you just want to say, oh, that's fine, look, anytime. As opposed to someone that says nothing and just doesn't acknowledge what you've done, do you think you want to give back to them? Well, the universe works exactly the same way. Be very grateful for everything, even your lessons. Say, and that's when I tell people, say, well, thanks for reminding me to empower myself, even if it's a negative situation. You say it in a positive way of what that lesson's reminding you to do. So be very grateful, count your blessings. Very powerful way to get more of your blessings, get more abundance. Just be grateful, don't moan, and be very positive about it and mean it. So every day, count them, think of what you're grateful for, because you know there are so many people really worse off, and it's good karma. It's good universal laws just to be grateful. The next topic is on self-worth, sacrifice and suffering. So this is a big one. This is a very common one of why people don't get what they want or they deserve. They don't think they're worthy of it. And inside they beat themselves up, they have guilt. That's because of all the negative self-talk. And that will attract negative everything. And if you think that you're not worth much, you don't get much. So you will know your self-worth when you think of what it feels like to go and meet people and to not have to say anything to impress them. You feel totally confident without, even though you may not know people, you just feel confident of being who you are. You sort of get an idea of how you feel about you if you don't feel that you have to impress and brag. Those people that do that obviously don't have good self-worth. Or how shy you are, or timid you are, or how inferior you feel. They're all the low self-worth feelings. So they need to change, because you need to talk to yourself differently and start to find ways to love you, because you are just reflecting what you're feeling inside you. So you need to sort of say, you know what, in the morning, I do like me. I like this about me. I like that about me. When someone gives you a compliment, you say thank you. You start changing everything you start beating yourself up about and start loving yourself. Because when you love you, then that builds your self-worth, huh? That's because it's a good question. Some people will say, how do I get self-worth? Well, it's by the decisions you make, by what you allow in your life. If someone's rude to you and you keep ringing them back up and they're rude again, and you ring them up and they're rude, it's like, a family member and they go blah, 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 and they're all negative. You're like abusing yourself. So that's not very good self-worth. Whereas you need to start saying, that's fine if it's, let's say it's your mum. Mum, I'd love to talk about this, but the negativity doesn't make me feel good. Or you being critical of me doesn't make me feel good. So when you're ready to have a nice, positive conversation with me, I'd love to talk to you. It's about taking your power back and realizing you're worth it. Just have a look at all that. You need to really analyze your life and role model those people that have good self-worth, that feel nice and centered, that are very happy. You look at them and you watch how they behave. And you're around that enough, you'll start to shift yourself, because they show you how to do it. Sacrifice, huge. I feel that this is part of why I'm here, I feel, on this planet, is to move from this older dimension, the old ways of so-called loving people was to sacrifice yourself. And they talk about the sacrifice that everyone made when they would go into war, or the sacrifice, you're worth a lot when you sacrifice. It was part of your self-worth. By the more you suffered, the more you gave, the more you are worth. Well, that's old, and it's 5 minutes ago. It's not part of who you are, because I'll tell you now, if you do suffer and if you do sacrifice yourself, then you send the wrong message to the universe. You say, universe, I like to suffer and sacrifice because that's what I choose, that's what I do. And the universe goes, great, I'll give you more. I'm here to tell you, you firstly need to look after you, and then you can assist someone else. Because you're no good to anyone running yourself down. When you can build yourself up, one, you're an inspiration, and two, you're much more powerful. You're much greater. Let's say you stopped giving and giving, said, you know what, I'm going to build me up. First, and when I have something to give, but I'll build me up and I'll create the best person I can be. And in that process, you become abundant and amazing. You create more employment for people. You're just more able to give back. I'm not saying you don't give, you don't assist. I definitely say that. However, not at your expense. And I tell stories about, I see it all the time, people that give when they have nothing to give, just puts them down in the hole with the other person. So it's about keeping yourself up and imagining. If you feel like you have to keep giving, you just need to imagine that other person healthy and well and living the best life ever. That's what's going to help them, not to buy into their story. And that you're not here to suffer anymore. Suffering's over. You're here to let that go and recognize that life is joyful and life is happy. Education, law of attraction. You need to educate yourself. It's funny how I see some people, and you may know a few, they have this amazing library, and it might be all science fiction books. And I usually find those are the people that are not very good at relating. Whereas you'll find people that are very good at understanding universal laws and relating and creating good karma and creating what they want in their life. They have all these, self-care and self-education and inspiration and all those books that assist you to develop you as a person. They're more spiritual books. So what's your library look like? Do you educate yourself? In fact, unfortunately, I don't have enough time to even read a novel at all, a fiction novel. I've got too much to read, and I need to educate myself. I'm still learning and learning. I just think there's so much out there to know, and I'm always trying to make sense of life. I'm always trying to read it. Well, I'm a forensic healer, so it's what I am, and I love putting it together. I love solving the crimes, or the problems, so to speak. So it's really liberating. You go, great, I got it, now I understand it, and that then teaches you something. Nothing wrong with novels and so forth. However, if you're lacking in any way in your life and you want to improve yourself, you need to immerse yourself and educate yourself. Law of attraction. How does the law of attraction work? The other thing, ask and you shall receive. Start asking for what you want, not for what you don't want. You are here to grow spiritually. And if you only knew that that was the most important part of your life, then you would have less problems, less negativity, less opposition, more abundance. Because when we grow ourselves spiritually, we become better people, we become kinder, because we start to love ourselves, we become more balanced, more centered. And in that, we change consciousness. Because let's look at me, for instance. Since I know me, you know me, I've come from a childhood of abuse, very negative. I came from a childhood of a lot of hatred. I just remember spending every minute of my day hating my father. So imagine how much negativity that is on me, and also I'm throwing negativity on him. Hate was a very common emotion for me. So coming from a life like that, somehow I had this two sides to me. I was a lover, a hater, so very emotional, very unbalanced, and had a lot of problems, emotional problems, and then physical problems and depression, so much. So I look at what sort of consciousness I was creating. The people around me, I often attracted negative people. Some positive, some negative, but negative situation was never really nice and smooth. So now I heal myself. I get myself I change myself, I become more spiritual, become more loving, more kind, more balanced. I know I'm a creator, more powerful. I'm able to heal people, help people. So therefore, my consciousness is shifted higher, and then I help heal others in all this lightness. And this is then attracting and creating a better world. And when I pass my gift on to someone else, they go and do the same. It's like the torch is being lit. And we're shifting the world, because if it's all energy. So that is why the spirituality, as in aligning yourself, cleaning out your closet of getting rid of the old negative relationships, the emotions and so forth, very, very powerful. Childhood's another important area. I mean, childhood is where you learn everything. So it's time to heal that childhood, time to let go of that pain. Give back that child what it needed. And the culture, a lot of people have different cultures that have different beliefs and standards, and a lot of them, Europeans, believe in being putting the family first, serve the family, and therefore they're always thinking about, are they doing the right thing? Are they helping the other person first? And it very much becomes very intertwined, and there's a lot of sacrifice and guilt going on, and it stops people from progressing. It keeps them stuck. So this all needs to be looked at, your programming, and deprogram yourself, because it's just a program, and who said it's right? So you need to find a program that works for you, that's very that gets you in your power and your full potential. Surrounding yourself, vision boards, looking what you watch on TV, make sure it's uplifting, don't watch the negative stuff, putting pictures around, surrounding yourself with positive people. So vision boards I talk about in my DVD called Summon the Universe, how to summon the universe to get what you want. So vision boards play a big part. My vision board is right in front of me when I go to bed, and the first thing I see when I wake up. And I'm not even really looking at it, but you know what? My subconscious mind is absorbing it. And I've sat down and spent enough time to say, hey, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, I'm focused. So getting what you want is like a relationship with the person. You need to invest time in it, you need to invest effort and focus. So get that vision board going, and surround yourself with the people that uplift you, not pull you down. What are you doing with the people that are negative for? They don't make you feel any better when you walk away. So I think it's really fun sometimes to go, you know what? You start looking at your life and you go, I've created that. Why did I create that? Why do I allow that? I say yes to that. So I look at my old life, and I have a saying that says, I plead guilty on grounds of temporary insanity. Because I go, that was when I was kind of insane. And now I'm not. So, yeah, look at what you're saying yes to. Surround yourself with everything that's uplifting and monitor it. Have a look at it. Be objective about it. Okay, so that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I remember a student, when I was working on her, she was wondering why she was still in this sacrifice mode. And then I find out it came up like something in her environment, because forensics can scan lists and find out the information of why something occurred, and it comes up to environment, then it comes up gift. And I said, what's this? What's going on here? And then we nutted out that her father gave her a box when she, I think, became older or early 20s, and he said, here's my box of pain. And in the box was all the court letters, all of the negative stuff that she was forced to do when she was a kid. Her mother forced her to go to court and say, I don't want to see my dad and he's bad, and all the court documents. So this all had to be documented. So this poor child who loved her father was forced to say this by her mother, and he kept it all and gave it back to her, and she kept it. And I said, Why are you keeping that? It has an energy on it that's holding you back, huge. It's like you're hanging on to his pain. It's now time to let that go. It's not your fault. This isn't your fault. And it's time to stop in this sacrificial kind of take on others' pain and get rid of it. So it's amazing what things we have around us that can cause us to an energy about it that brings us down. So just be mindful about how you feel. Your emotions is like a prayer. Greg Braden talks about this. The old mode of prayer was to feel what you want, not to beg and ask for it. It was to feel it, because feeling is the most powerful vibration, isn't it? Feeling that you have it. So be mindful of how you're feeling, and you will draw that to you. The joyful things. If you try and feel good, you'll bring good things to you. So it's the most important aspect of your life, just to feel good and to change things. Don't be a victim of things. Change it, and you'll get better and better, and you'll create a better and better life. Remember, it's your birthright to be rich, to be abundant. You don't realize that. In fact, I remember someone saying to me when I went to them in a really bad way, it was many years ago, and I said, my father, I was talking about my father and what he did, and this person said to me, you know what, your father, he should be kind to you, he should be helping assist you, he should be like there for you, as in, my father did give me some money to buy a property, a small amount. That was probably the biggest thing he ever did for me when I got older. And in that I felt very obligated towards him. And when this girl said, you know what, but that's what parents do. That's normal. They should love you. They should give you. They should help you. And then I go, oh, and I started to feel less obligated to him and less guilty for being so negative or being pulled towards him when I didn't even like him when I got older. And she said it was how it should be. So I'm telling you, it should be that you're abundant. It's your birthright. You're born with that. And don't let anyone else tell you any different. Claim your birthright. Relationships. Well, very important. You need to have very good relationships to function in life, yeah? So your relationships are an indicator of how you're going with everything. It'll be your same relationship with your parents, your family, relationship with your partner, a relationship with money. So relationships, take a look at them. What are they like? And if they aren't any good, then you need to start working on you. Do you not have boundaries? Do you allow people to walk all over you? You need to look at why your relationships aren't good. Do you not have good self-worth? Or are you too overpowering, too needy, too addicted? All of this kind of thing. And sort yourself out. So when you create that good relationship with yourself, you'll create that good relationship with others. And I don't mean that you have to talk to everyone. I don't mean you have to be with everyone. I just mean you need to feel at peace with yourself and not send negativity. Negativity harms the other person and it comes back. So habits and repetition is the next point. Make this a habit, make it repetitious of all these things that you do. As Anthony Robbins said, repetition is the mother of all skill. Keep on doing it. It's better to do it daily, even small amounts, than once, big time, daily. So you make it a habit. It's like a workout. Make yourself a new story. Create that story. What story are you now going to tell? What stories do you repeat? What stories do you talk about with other people? Well, you better make them good, because you want to keep on creating something. Tell a story that you don't like, and then you'll create more of that. So create that new story. Don't repeat the old stuff. Don't repeat the victim stuff. You have no idea about what you say, you create. I mean, we know that. Doesn't someone say, oh, it always happens to me. Oh, I always get the words mixed up. I always, get embarrassed when I'm asked a question. You keep saying that, you'll keep doing that. Really, really be mindful of that. Goal setting, set some goals. I mean, Thomas Merton once said, when you don't know where you are going, you'll end up somewhere else. Love it. So where are you going? Know where you're going. And if you don't know exactly where you're going, at least you can know how you want to feel about the journey. And there's certain feelings about it, and you'll know what you enjoy most. So although you may not know exactly that destination of how you're going to get there, at least know what you'd like in your life and how you'd like to feel and the type, what it might look like. Some people aren't exactly sure, but that will come. Intuition. It's essential today. If you don't have intuition, then you can be misguided. When you're intuitive, you'll feel drawn and guided to where you should go, to what you want. Very important aspect in today. We've all heard people say, or you've probably done it yourself. You say, intuitively I felt this, but I didn't adhere to it. I ignored it. And then something wrong happened. So follow your intuition and be in a state that you have intuition, that you are guided and that source is coming through you, which is when you're peaceful and when you're happy. So meditate maybe, but be quiet, and when you're loving and you're feeling good, it's a really powerful way just to have flow coming through you all the time. I'm not a great meditator. Unfortunately, I do a lot of healing, and in that moment I'm in the zone, so to speak, and so it naturally comes through. But I practice trying to be in the zone as much as I can, because it feels good and the answers come, and I get really excited to just feel that there's so much more assistance out there. There's so much more to me than I ever knew. Now, make some reasons and decide what you want. Why do you want to be abundant? Make all those reasons. They're all fantastic reasons, so you can be a better person, so you can feel happy, so you can give more to others, you can help others, that you can create a better world. I mean, there's many good reasons. Tell me one good reasons why it's not good to be wealthy. Got any reasons why it's better that you're poor? Can't think of any. So you make those reasons, and that needs to be also a motivating force. You have reasons. You have children. You want to help groups that need help. You can inspire people. Make the reasons. You're also a role model if you've got children, and a role model to people around you. So focus. Next point will be to focus and be energetic. Be enthusiastic and focused on what you want. It's like, this is what I want and this is where I'm going. But I don't mean like a bull at a gate. It's like, let it all flow. If you get huge blocks and things just don't work one after the other, then I think that would be a message. That's when I say use universal laws to not go that direction. But when it feels that you're guided and directed and things are flowing and it's saying, yes, go that way. But keep focused on what you want, because sometimes there might be a different route to take it. Now remember, the change is in you. Change you change your life, you change your world, you change what you're attracting. Very powerful point for you to know that the power is within you. I recall when I was doing an Anthony Robbins workshop, it was a seminar somewhere in Gold Coast, and I remember it was years ago. I was walking with a candle, I think a lantern or something in my hand, and we just walked around saying, all I need is within me now. All I need is within me now. And I was a Mormon in those days, and I'm like, oh, I'm saying this, and I'm like not thinking really what it meant. But all I need is with, what really does that mean? And I don't really know what that means, because I believed that Christ was my Savior and all the power was in Christ. So that's what my beliefs were back then. Now I recognize that it doesn't matter what faith you are, it doesn't matter what you believe in, but if you can believe in yourself and you can believe that that power is within you, because if you do believe in Christ, then aren't we all one, and you and him are one, or whatever you believe, then believe that you're one with everybody, then that power is within you. And you can access that and access information out in the field. The answers are already there. When you recognize that power, just changing you bit by bit, being committed to looking at your life, being committed to taking 100% responsibility that you are the creator of your life. Just like to stop on that point, because do you really think that you're 100% responsible for your life? Really? How much? Give me a percentage. Are you 50%? If I said to you, you go to a bank teller and they're rude to you, whose fault's that? Who of you put your hand up and said, I'm responsible? Who of you said, no, that's their fault? Well, you know what? It's not so much that it's a fault of yours, but it's in your energy field to bring that out. I guess I'm very blessed, so blessed to be an energy healer that I see this every day. So I learn it every day. I experience it every day. I experience it in my own life. I've had times where I've had things jump on me, negative energies jump on me. I could have been working with someone really toxic, negative, and it's jumped on me. And then I'll go down and make a phone call, and I'll be abused, or there'll be all this like weird, horrible feeling, negativity. And I'll go, and I've come to learn that, something on me, and I have to clean my energy field. And then the more I then work out, why did I create that situation? I look at why I created that, and I change why I created that. I take a step up and step up and step up, and I feel really good that it's not as dramatic as it used to be. It's not as common, and it's a lot more, my life flows a lot more. So just recognize that it's in you, and could be something that's karmic, something past life, but just make sure you take responsibility and say to the universe, okay, universe, well, this is what I want. I don't want that. Please clear, and I'm clearing any negativity around it, and you can use your karma clearing. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Send lots of love and blessings, and just shift it and move to what you do want, and look at the situation. Did you have low self-worth? Did you sacrifice in that moment? Why did that happen? Look at the activity prior. You'll get to know yourself a lot better. And in all of these activities, in all of these steps that you do, put this all together, you will make huge changes. Absolutely huge. If you really, really want to. If you really, really think that you deserve it. I think you do. I think you're amazing. I think you're powerful. I think if only you knew just how amazing and powerful you are, you would see yourself as I see you. You're tall and strong, and I see white light around you, immovable in any storm, centered, and of divine worth. So hold on to that image of you. Hold on to that powerful, loving human that you are, and step forward and go forward now, knowing that it's your birthright to be abundant and to create, and ask the universe to guide you in that direction. Whoa, so I hope you've really enjoyed that webinar. Now I'm going to look through some questions and see if I've got some questions. I have a look, I've got some printed here. Okay, because I had some questions that came in just before the webinar, and they said, one says, when I'm at home, my father's always negative, and I just don't know how to deal with that because he's negative and I'm trying to be positive. What can I do? Well, that happens a lot. When there's people that are negative in your, especially in your home, then it makes it more difficult for you to get yourself nice and balanced and aligned. So I'll say, well, let's take a look at you. Now, what's that negativity between you and him about? And karma needs to be cleansed. Often with family, karma needs to be cleansed. And when they are negative, I say change that old habit. Instead of you getting mad and upset and feeling hurt, go up and squeeze their cheek and say, you know what, you're just so cute. Just do something crazy and walk off. Decide how you're going to respond. And then you could say to yourself, what am I doing at home still? Or you could say, you know what, I love chatting with you, but could you mind if you just rephrase that into something that makes me feel better? Start changing how you respond, but don't buy into their stuff. Because this is about you either not judging yourself, either getting back your self-worth, either clearing some karma, but starting to change, because this negative cord is negative for both. And although you might say that they're always negative, you are still responsible. And when you know that, you can change it. So it's about having a look at how you can respond differently and looking at all things like that. Next question. Okay, Sandy. She says that she says that she finds it hard to actually get up every day and feel abundant because she owes $30,000 on credit card and has no money in the bank account and struggles to make the rent every month. Okay, Sandy. Right, well, on your vision board, you need to put in what you'd like in the bank account. You'd like to put on the vision board credit cards paid off. And all those steps that I talked about, go through them individually and be focused and imagine it all paid off. Imagine being wealthy enough and making steps to do that, leaving yourself open to perhaps earning more money. So it's just applying those previous steps and not focusing on how much you owe. It's focusing on feeling free. Because in that feeling, it starts to happen very easily. I've had people say to me, when I've said to people, you know what, the money will come. If you're meant to do this course, and they say, I'd love to do a course, but I don't have the money. And I'll say, you know what, the money will come. If you're meant to do it, if you want to do it, if you ask for it. And so many times people have said money has come to them because I've put that energy on them and they've decided to hold that thought and the money comes. So it's very much about this, what you keep saying, what you decide to believe. Are you wanting some assistance in removing the blocks to you receiving abundance and prosperity? Well, I've created a powerful fast-tracking technique that shifts your blocks, changes your energy field so that you're wired and geared and programmed to having abundance. The healing begins with an abundance download, which is like programming your brain for receiving abundance. It's programming you. It's like a new program, new software in you. So that is the first part, and that addresses karma. It addresses negative energies, negative relationships. It just cleans your whole energy up and reprograms and makes sure that you will accept abundance and prosperity. It reclaims your birthright for you to receive it. So really, really powerful. I love the download. I've had amazing responses. Miraculous things have happened from people that have been downloaded with the abundance download. So that is a healing that I've created. So that's available to you. And with that healing, our subliminals for creating abundance in words and on the screen and visualizations. The next part of the healing abundance download is a visualization. The visualization takes you on a journey to imprint and to get you feeling in a certain way of abundance coming into your life, again with all the NLP techniques, with all the subliminals. And it's on a DVD, so you can listen to this time and time again, reprogram, reiterate, and keep this energy of abundance throughout your week, throughout the month, throughout the year. So as I say, repetition is the mother of all skill. And it cleans up your energy, and it keeps on shifting, shifting and shifting. So that is what is available now. This is a new product. So you can get it instantly, download it off the website, or you can purchase it and have the DVD sent to you. So there's two modes for you to be able to fast track this abundance download and getting you living that life that you're meant to live. So I think there's some more questions, but all of them are basically answered in what I've just gone through. These questions had come in just prior, so I'd like you to take note. You can re-listen to this webinar and create that abundant life. So thanks for listening. It's been a great webinar. I love this subject. I love laws of the universe, and I love understanding really why we create the life we create. So you go create that best life ever, and send you blessings and love and abundance.